Hey there, everyone. Welcome to our live stream. I'm super excited to be here today. We're about to embark upon an awesome journey of growth, transformation, and empowerment together. For those of you who don't know me or who are new to me, I am Coach Trissetta, and I'm super excited to have each and every one of you here joining us today, whether you are tuning in live or you are catching the replay on the back end. First of all, I want you to feel totally at ease as we dive into some practical strategies, share valuable insights, as well as uncover some actionable steps that are going to help you to navigate all the ups and downs of your personal and professional life. So, seriously, I have been there too, right? Burnout is no joke. And I'll share a little bit more of my own story a little later on today. But don't worry, we've got each other's backs, right? So we're here to support and uplift one another as we create some fulfilling life without sacrificing our dreams, our goals, and our ambitions. So go ahead, ask questions in the comments, share your thoughts, and let's make this live stream a place of empowerment and connection. You know what? You truly deserve to thrive. You deserve to thrive in every single aspect of your life, and we are going to make it happen. No doubt about that. But before we get started, I want you to do me a favor and share this broadcast with another lady leader who needs to hear this message or tag her in the comments below. Also, say hello. Let me know that you are here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I want our time together to be interactive. So don't be quiet. Don't just be lurking, watching. Let me know that you're here. Say hello and engage with me as we go throughout today's topic. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? Today, we're going to be discussing navigating work life balance. And this has become a pretty hot topic since really around 2020 when the pandemic hit. We were talking about it before, but it really became a hot topic then because as everything was shutting down and we were being, our schedules were being cleared, people really started to realize just how tired, overwhelmed, and burned out they had been with their schedules. And now we're trying to figure out as we're really starting to completely shift back into what our kind of like our prior norm was and being much more present in the office rather than working remotely, people are still trying to figure out how do we hang on to that freedom that we felt, that peace, that ease that we felt around our careers during the shutdowns when we couldn't really do a whole lot, right? And it's really important for us to figure out how we can create this work life balance because it has a huge impact on our overall well being. For example, if you are imbalanced, you might find yourself stressed out, burned out, and overwhelmed with all of the things that you need to get done. There's all kinds of different challenges that go along with achieving or creating work life balance, or the things that keep us from actually attaining it. And honestly, I can't really say that I believe that work life balance is something that you achieve. It's something that you consistently work towards, right? Because there's going to be different seasons of life where certain things are more, maybe your career is a little bit more important. And so you have to shift in your personal life, or maybe there's personal things going on where you shift and your career is not as crucial. So it's really important for us to find ways to integrate the two and create this sense of balance or sense of, how do I want to say this sense of intentionality around how we utilize our time and make sure that what we're doing intentionally aligns with the things that are most important to us at the time, right? So there are several different challenges, and by no means is what I'm going to cover an exhaustive list of the different challenges of trying to create this work life balance. But these are probably the most common ones that I see within my clients and even myself have experienced. One is working long hours, right? There's many professionals and leaders, especially, might find themselves working long hours, whether it is due to demanding job responsibilities or tight deadlines, or even the pressure to just excel in your career because we want to be seen as people who show up, right? When we're wanting to be promoted. And what happens is this leaves us with less time and energy for all the different things in our personal life or those leisure activities that help us to kind of balance those things out. There's also work related stress, right? High stress levels can make it very difficult for professionals like us to detach from our work when we're not in the office, right? So even though you're not working, you're constantly thinking about work or the issues or things that you need to take care of the next day. Or maybe it's something that you forgot to do, or you want to make sure that you tell someone to do XYZ. And all of that, not being able to turn it off can lead you to burnout and hinder your ability to enjoy your personal time, right? You're on vacation, you're out of the office, but the office isn't out of you. And so you can't be fully present in your personal time. Then there's also, which kind of leads me into this constant connectivity that we have as it relates to the technology, right? We're constantly walking around with our phones, and our phones give us give people access to us 24/7. We are, no matter where we are, there was a time before cell phones when if you were not at home to receive a call, or you were not in your office at your desk to receive a call, people could not reach you. Right? If you were at the store, they just had to wait till you could come back home. And what has happened, while this technology has been a blessing, there are also some downsides or some cons to having that constant connectivity. Right? So makes it a little bit more difficult for us to disconnect from work. It kind of blurs the line between our work life and our personal life. Then there's also kind of your family and personal commitments. When you have to juggle all of the responsibilities from your work life as well as your family obligations and social events or even your personal hobbies, that can get to a place where it is overwhelming, which makes it difficult to find the balance between all of the things that you need to do. Then there can also be this lack of flexibility in our schedules, right? Some professions have very rigid schedules, or there may be limited opportunities for you to be able to work remotely because, right, think about working remotely. You don't have to worry about the commute. You don't have to worry about sitting in traffic. You just get up, get dressed, and commute from one room to another or to wherever your workspace is. Like, for example, I work for myself, I work from home, and all I have to do is get up, get my shower, get dressed, get ready, and come to the next room into my office where I work. I don't have to get in my car and battle all the traffic, right? So when you have that very rigid schedule, it can make it challenging to accommodate some of those personal needs and personal obligations. For example, I care for my father, my elderly father who has dementia. There's sometimes when he needs a little bit more support throughout the day. There are times when I need to take him to to multiple doctor's appointments. And because I work for myself and I set my own schedule, I have the flexibility to adjust my schedule to fit his needs for that day. When I worked in corporate, I had to go and ask permission, or I had to be very strategic in when appointments might be scheduled so that I did not disrupt the regular flow of the workday, right? So that lack of flexibility can really wreak havoc on your work-life balance. Then there's also the guilt, right? There's guilt that can come along with creating work-life balance because many professionals may feel guilty about taking time off for themselves or prioritizing their personal life over their work, especially if there's this perception that societal or workplace expectations are different, right? If you feel like it's expected of you to be in the office before anyone gets there and be the last one out the door, or to be available after hours or on the weekends, then it can be challenging, or you might experience some feelings of guilt around trying to create that space for yourself. And that, that kind of leads into this culture that we have specifically here in the US around workaholism, right? Some industries or some workplaces, there may be this kind of prevailing culture that glorifies overworking, which kind of leads people to neglect their personal lives just so they can keep up in the workplace. And really addressing these challenges may require a combination of our like individual, like our own personal effort. It may require employer support, as well as just overall changes in the culture in the workplace in order for us to address them. So, encouraging flexible work arrangements, promoting work life balance initiatives within your organization, and fostering open communication about the topic are really going to be essential steps in helping professionals to achieve a healthier balance between their personal and their professional lives. And I said earlier at the offset that I was going to share a little bit of my own story. Um, Years ago, I worked for a home health agency, and I was working 55 plus hours a week because of the volume of work that needed to get done, coupled with very strenuous deadlines. So, in order for me to get everything done that I needed to get done in the time frame that it needed to get done, or that according to the expectations of our leadership, it created a lot of stress on me. Not only that, I had to work all those hours just to attempt to keep up because it was really more work than one person could do on their own. It was really the work of at least one and a half people, most likely two people, to actually keep up with the volume that we had. And not only that, so I was in the office 7:30 in the morning, and then I wouldn't leave until 6, 7, 8, sometimes 9 o'clock at night, not to mention in the office on Saturdays for 2 to 4 hours or even 8 hours if I was planning on taking a day or two off to prepare for me to be away from the office. And after about 6 years of doing that, I worked for the company for 10 years, but after 6 years of doing that kind of schedule, I was stressed out, burned out, and overwhelmed, and was on the verge of losing everything because of it. And I had to make a decision about how I wanted to proceed. Is this the life that I wanted for me? And ultimately, I decided that was not the life for me, that I wanted more. I wanted to pursue things that were more important to me and have more balance in my life and actually live life and not just live to work. And so I made the decision to walk away from that career and into something else that then led to me being where I am now, where I work for myself full time. All right. So I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments some of your own challenges or experiences with um, any of the challenges that we discussed just a moment ago. But I don't want to leave you in a lurch. I don't want to leave you in this place of feeling like, oh my gosh, I can never get there, because I am living proof that you can get there. But I want to share with you some of the strategies that I use to start to create this work-life balance, right? The very first thing was to set some priorities, right? It's important for you to identify the things that are most important to you and then align your entire life around what those priorities are. Now, I want you to understand that just because you establish priorities today does not mean that those are going to be your priorities forever. I encourage my clients to reevaluate their priorities on a quarterly basis because opportunities may arise, different personal situations and professional situations may arrive that shift your priorities. There's so many different things that can change in just a 90-day period. It's important for you to revisit your priorities regularly. Now, you shouldn't be shifting them every single week or every day. This is something should be done on a regular basis, but not all the time. So take some time, really think about the different areas of your life, jot down all the different areas of your life, and then prioritize and number them 1 through 9 or however many it is. Number them from most important, one being most important to whatever the number is, 9 being least important, and then focus on those top three, making sure that you align everything that you do with those things that you say are most important to you. Now, one thing to note here is that even though you're going to be focusing on those top three priorities, it doesn't mean that you're going to completely forget the others. You may dabble in those areas as well, but know that whenever you increase or expand one area of your life, you expand as a human being. So don't get caught up in thinking that, oh, I'm only going to be focusing on these one things. I'm just going to let everything else go by the wayside. No, we're not letting everything go by the wayside. We're just simply putting more attention and focus on those top three. The next strategy is to use time management, manage your time effectively. Some of the things that are going to be key here are to optimize your productivity and create space for your personal life, right? So you've already established what your priorities are. Now, what you want to do is build a schedule, get in the habit of creating a weekly schedule where you put the things that are most important to you on your schedule first, and then build everything else around that. That way, you get what's most important to you on your schedule. What people tend to do is the opposite, right? They tend to put all the obligations, all the things that need to get done on their schedule first, and then try to figure out how they can fit in the things that really are important to them. And there's just not the time, right? There's very little time left. But if you put those things on first, then you will find that you can fill in the gaps with everything else. And then there will be some things that just need to kind of slide for a season. Also, you want to do your best to avoid doing things that just kind of waste your time. Time is our most valuable resource and it is non renewable. When we each get 24 hours in a day, we have 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year. No one gets more days or hours than another person unless you just leave here, right? Unless we pass away. So it's important that you utilize your time wisely, that you're intentional with it. You can make more money. If you lose everything that you have today, you can go make more money, but you cannot make more time. So you want to make sure that you are carefully budgeting this non-renewable, very valuable resource that we have called time. The third strategy is to set some boundaries, right? When you don't have boundaries between your personal and personal life, did I say personal? If you don't have boundaries between your personal and professional life, or even within each sphere, then it's going to be easy for the lines to be blurred and you to not be able to navigate this process of creating work-life balance. So get clear on when you're stopping work for the day. Maybe you do need to work a little bit longer, but have a hard stop. Or when you do stop, that your email is closed, your laptop is closed, everything is closed out, and you are fully present in your personal life, and vice versa, right? That may look like telling that chatty coworker or colleague that, hey, you know what? I really want to hear what you have to say, but I need to get this. I need to get this done. Can I come find you when I'm done with this project? So that you're not pulled away from the thing, the focus work that you need to accomplish, right? So set some boundaries in your personal and your professional relationships and between your work and personal life so that you can actually create more balance. And then the last strategy that I'm going to share is self-care. You got to take care of yourself. There's only one you, and no one can take care of you like you. When you prioritize your self-care, you set yourself up for success because it is in our times of rest and relaxation, intentional rest and relaxation, that we are able to process, right? We're able to process all the things that happen throughout the day and give our body time to recharge for the next. And that could be like taking breaks. That could mean doing some physical exercise, like going for a walk or to the gym or doing some sort of yoga. It can mean doing some sort of meditation. It could be having a spa day. It could be going on vacation. Whatever things fill you back up, renew you, those are the things that you want to make sure that you incorporate into your regular schedule. One of my business friends says this all the time, and I've kind of adopted it in my business and share it regularly. Is she says that your level of self-care must match or exceed your level of stress. Right? In order for you to be successful, in order for you to avoid burnout, you've got to make sure that you are as intentional with your self-care and making sure that you're doing enough to abate any stress that you are experiencing in your work and personal lives, right? So make sure that you are prioritizing time for your own self-care. And I want to invite you to join me on August the 9th. I am hosting a webinar called Breaking the Burnout Cycle, where we're going to dive deeper into these topics. And I'm going to share with you some personal insights as well as give you some actionable strategies for creating more balance in your life. So I want to encourage you to register so that you can gain some comprehensive knowledge on work-life balance. I'm going to drop the link. So go to breakingtheburnoutscycle.com and you can register for free. And that's going to be Wednesday, August the 9th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will be 1 hour to the T. I am fine-tuning this webinar to try and get us done a few minutes before so that you have a minute for a bio break before you go into something else. But 1 hour, right? We're in and out in 1 hour. So today I just want to do a quick recap before I close things out. Today we've talked about the importance of work-life balance and how it impacts our overall well-being. We talked about some of the challenges to creating work-life balance. We have also talked about some of the strategies that you can employ in order to start to create more balance between your work life and your personal life. And I shared a little bit of my own journey from burnout to balance. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I'm actually going to be back next week. I don't remember what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me take a look. Let's see here. What am I talking about? Next week, I am talking about, I think I'm talking about managing. Wait, nope. Next week is mastering stress management. So I'll be right back here, same time, same place. next week to talk about mastering stress management. And we're gonna kick stress in the butt. Right. So thank you all so much for joining me today. It's been amazing being here with you all. And hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye for now.